I take it that as a nation, we agreed that we will amend the constitution before the 2026.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
Yeah, Mbao, rather. Let me acknowledge Paramount Chief Chichimukuru, Mwine Lubemba, all the traditional leaders that are here. I know there are many of them. We duly recognize you, and also the cabinet colleagues that have already been mentioned by the provincial minister. We recognize you. We also recognize the Secretary of the Cabinet and all the rank and file of the civil and overall the public sector under the Secretary of the Cabinet, Judge in charge of Kasama. We recognize you. I must recognize in a special way His Grace, the Archbishop of Kasama, Archbishop Chama, who also is the president of the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops. Archbishop Chama, we recognize you. I must also recognize all of the members of parliament that are present here, not just from the northern province, but also from across the country. We duly recognize you, the resident coordinator of the UN system in Zambia, Madam Beatrice Mutali, who have spoken very well. We recognize you. I must also indicate that the Mayor of Kasama, who received us well at the airport earlier in the morning, we do recognize you, and all your councillors, before the councillors, chairpersons of councils, our district councils across the country, and other mayors that may be present here in Kasama today. It's my duty to recognize ambassadors and high commissioners accredited to our beloved country, Zambia, that may be present together with other cooperating partners that may be here today in this beautiful city, Kunokumiesuku Kasama. I also want to recognize the UPND leadership through the Secretary General and your NMC members and all our structures in the province, including or through the provincial chairman, Vamupampamina. Thank you for representing us well in the province. I know that my dear sister has spoken already and spoken well, Beauty Katebe, who is chairperson of the NGO CC, and I did whisper to her that I've taken note of the things she's raised, and we will carry them on our diaries in Lusaka and have a decent conversation and compare notes and tick them off one by one, because we work in that organized way. Let me acknowledge also all heads of the civil society, religious organizations that are here. You're all present in this our Christian nation, and the Board of Christ is one. Therefore, we are one. And members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you due recognition. First and foremost, I want to express my delight, absolute delight, to be the guest of honor at this year's International Women's Day. This is a fantastic opportunity to celebrate our women. Over the year, every year we celebrate the International Women's Day, and this day basically allows us to reflect what we've done for, what we've done with women in the past year. So I'm extremely delighted that this International Women's Day is being celebrated here in Kasama, here in the Northern Province, for the first time since we became independent. For the first time. I want to thank Avena Kasama, Avena Northern Province, for hosting us in this manner. The marching was beautiful. Diversity and also inclusion. Truly, truly wonderful. So I must also underscore Mwine Luvemba, that many of the people in Lusaka think that Zambia is Lusaka and Lusaka is Zambia. No. The decision this government and this president and this government has made to host these international days in the provinces is deliberate, to demonstrate that Lusaka is not Zambia and Zambia is not Lusaka. As you know, last year's International Women's Day we were in Livingstone, and the Youth Day we were in Chipata. This year, International Women's Day, we are here. Kunokumie suka sana. And then Youth Day, we will be in Kwahaye in Mongo. This is our way of bringing our country together, amongst many other measures that we are putting in place, because we value unity. Unity in diversity, but unity for development as well. Very important. We and Tanshi, through unity, is the only thing that we can basically calculate and say we've done this for the country, and we've done it for all of our citizens without exclusions, but focusing on inclusions. That is our approach to saving the country in these roles that we were elected by the people of Zambia. Let me congratulate the women of Zambia, the women of SADC, the women of Africa, the women of the world, for the tremendous achievements in the past months culminating into today. Thank you for all the things that you do for us, some of which we take for granted, we men. We take many things for granted, and that's not correct. So we want to remind the women of our country that we value what we do. Now, gender equality is not a matter for debate. We are beyond debate. Our job is to focus on implementation of measures that will drive us towards gender equality. So I would like our women folk to change the narrative, Beauty Katebe, from reminding us of what we need to do, but to focus on, because reminding us is something of yesterday. We have all accepted what we need to do. The thing we should do is to remind each other of the specific measures that need to be taken in order to actualize gender equality. I must say that women opportunities, or opportunities given to women, to our girls, are equal or are synonymous to opportunities given to the population, because I'm a believer in that. Women, girls are part of the family. I'm a great believer in the family, and the family connotes women and children. In there are female children, there are male children. But it's also true to say in the family, there are males as well. That's what constitutes a family, husband and wife. If you like, let's change the order, wife and husband, and then female children, male children. That is the family. So we promote equality in the family and making sure that no member of the family is discriminated. I choose Mwine Luvemba to say, and Archbishop Chama to repeat what I've been saying in the country for many years and in the international arenas. And I chose to repeat it here in Kasama deliberately, that starting with me as a Christian, as an African, and then we as a government, we do not support same-sex marriages. Full stop. We do not support same-sex marriages. And therefore, when we talk of the family, we are talking about a normal family. A normal family where there's a wife, there's a husband who are female and male, and then there are children who are female and male. I thought I should repeat this message loud and clear. Loud and clear. Therefore, I want to indicate that any normal husband in the house must respect their wives. I respect my wife. She knows that. I think the public know by now that this fellow called HH respects his wife. So I urge all men like me, real men, not fake men, to respect our wives. To respect our wives. Mlekutika. Mweba nandi mweba ume. You must respect your wives. If you want your wives to respect you, you must respect your wives. I want to hear some clapping from men here, especially members of parliament. Especially members of parliament. So, respect your wives. Wives will respect you. You have a happy home. Respect your daughters. Honor your daughters. We must honor our daughters. We must honor our sons. What I'm noticing, Madam Katebe, Beauty, is not correct. We are beginning to leave our boy children outside, and we are breeding now junkies. When we breed more junkies, they will make our lives in the families uncomfortable. Let's bring them back in the fold and teach them how to respect their sisters, so that when they get married, they will respect their wives, as we, their fathers, respect our wives. Ndiye nkani yoka? Ndiye nkani. So, if we deal with the family correctly, we will deal with equality or inequity in society, because life starts in the family. I'm a believer in the values embedded in the family, and as the most important unit to use in order to sanitize society, to make society better, and to be able to afford our girl child and our women equal opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, this fellow speaking here is a convert of women's rights, a serious one for that matter, but is also one who knows that we males have responsibilities in the home to fend for our families. We also know that our women have responsibilities to take care of all of us in the family. Then we have a happy family, we have a happy community, we have a happy church, we have a happy country. Indeed. Let me look at the progress and challenges. There's no doubt that as a country we've made tremendous progress, notable progress, which is inspired by the Beijing Declaration, including one that wants us to include more girls enrolled in school, for example. Women entering the workforce. NGOCC, we've recruited a lot of women in the army, in the national service, in ZAF, in the police since we took public office. Numbers don't lie. So that is our demonstration of respecting women and our girl child and the family as a whole. We know that a lot more needs to be done. In the workplace, we have demonstrated recruiting more women. I'm glad NGOCC chairperson, you have acknowledged that. The last swearing-in ceremony we had, it was only women. It was a women affair that we saw in, including one to be in charge of the Anti-Corruption Commission as Director General and the Human Rights Commission as Director General. I want to assure you, the women of Zambia, our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our daughters, that this trend will continue going forward. This president will appoint more women. After all, women are more committed to duty than some of the men. I didn't say all men, I'm saying some of the men. Some of the men. The role of women I've already articulated as leaders, not just in the workplace, but in the communities as well as in the military. I want to thank Madam Mutali for acknowledging the progress that we've made in this respect. Let me go on, and before the rains come, and indicate that we have focal areas ourselves as a government that we want to continue pushing so that we can advance the welfare of women. Number one, If we want to make women competitive in the workplace, we must give them education. How has this government acted on this? We have brought about free education. All our girl children now can go to school. In my last address of Parliament, we witnessed a 42-year-old woman who has gone back to school because of free education. We are walking the talk in that respect. We are walking the talk in that respect. We have not just done that. In our CDF, enhanced CDF, we are providing scholarships where a girl child can now go to secondary school in a boarding school, and we are paying as government. And the decisions are made at a constituency level. First time in the history of our country. In my young days, I got my scholarship to go to University of Zambia. It was decided in Lusaka. Now we've taken scholarships to constituencies, 156 constituencies, and decisions are made that this girl needs to go to boarding school, and so it is done. The scholarship is availed. We have also allowed skills development at the constituency level through the CDF, and I see a lot of young women are going to do plumbing, carpentry, metalwork, something which we had lost as a skill in the country. We are walking the talk in that area. It's also important we acknowledge that in the education, we've changed the curricula to bring more subjects that are appropriate to our society, including women. Many aspects of our curricula now represents the needs of society and taking care of our women. Women are no longer at the back of the queue. They are actually in front of the queue together with the men, as a decent family works in that order. Let me indicate something else here. On the health side, the President directed that all health facilities in the country must have maternity wings which have running water. And that has allowed us, as we have implemented this program, again walking the talk, we are now able to save lives, mother and the child at the point of birth, because we brought decency in that space. I will indicate here, as we bring electricity through solar and other means, we are focusing on delivering this electricity to health centers so that these maternity wings can have electricity either through the grid or through solar. And I'll give you one example. When I went to officiate at one solar facility, microgrid, thank you very much. We thank God for the rains. We thank God for the rains. The drought did us very badly last year, so we thank God for giving us rains. And I was just saying, women were delivering using the light from a phone, just an ordinary phone. And when we installed a microgrid there, a couple of kilowatts, the women now deliver in full light. Safety of the mother and the child is assured. This is tremendous, and we'll continue doing that. Let me indicate something else. Violence against women will not be tolerated by this government. The church must work with us here. Civil society must work with us. NGOs, CCs, and others must work with us. Violence against women has not place in our society anymore. And we have reinforced the laws around this issue to mitigate around this issue. What else? Madam Chair, NGOCC, I'm glad you have acknowledged that. Last year, in fact, it's Madam Mutali, I think. Last year, it's both of you. Last year, we promised that all women who have children, and they are in correctional services, we will take them out of those ordinary correction services and put them in decent homes so that we don't detain the children by default. I am pleased to say to the nation that we have been able to deliver on this aspect. Now we have decent homes where women with children but are supposed to serve sentences in correctional services are now raising these children in decent homes, yet serving their sentences. tremendous. I think the taste of the pudding is in the eating. We will do more. We celebrate, as I conclude, we celebrate our women, resilient species of humanity, strong women. I know women are strong. I know this from my own wife, and I know you know it from your own wives, your daughters, your sisters, that women are strong. We celebrate your strength. We celebrate your responsibility in the homes, and we thank you for that. We will continue doing that. We want to reaffirm our commitment to fostering a society where females, the girl child, are promoted in terms of their opportunities to succeed in life, including owning land, including accessing finance. This is a barest minimum that our government will focus on, and will do that together with their male counterparts and the boy child, so that we leave nobody behind. I also want to confirm that this president will now pay particular attention going forward to appoint more women in positions of responsibility. I can confirm that. Check our appointments. You add the numbers yourselves. My job is to appoint. Your job is to count. Please do the counting properly. You'll see that we are bringing in more women, and we'll continue doing that. Finally, I want to say that, Madam NGOCC Chairperson, I can do an audit here. I do agree that we need more women in elective offices, but I want to invite women to be active as well. You can't sit at home and want to be elected councillor or mayor or MP by sitting at home. You must come forward and join in the race. You must also work hard so that when you become councillor or mayor or chairperson or MP, you will lead the people of those areas competently, like the men should do. I'm not saying the men are competent, no. I'm inviting you to be active, to get involved, and we agreed on this matter. The nomination of women 50-50, we are in agreement. Adopting more candidate women, we are in agreement. But come forward. We are also able to see more women, I believe, in 2026, because the political environment has been sanitized. The violence and the beatings and tear gas you used to see in the political arena is a thing of the past. So more women now are free to come forward, and you'll be promoted and supported. I talked about appointing more women in leadership positions as long as those positions are appointable. Tick that box. Implementing fully the Anti-GBV Act, total agree. Now, let me lastly say that in order to do these things, like bringing proportional representation, appointing more women through the presidential appointments, and doing, if you like, creating more constituencies, we need a constitutional amendment. We need a constitutional amendment, and we are willing to do that. We pronounced it in my last address to Parliament, and we want to invite all the stakeholders, civil society, churches, traditional leaders, to support the constitutional amendments that will allow for us to bring more women in Parliament, either through direct election or through proportional representation. I take it that as a nation, we agreed that we will amend the Constitution before the 2026 elections so we can deliver more opportunities for women and the society as a whole. Thank you very much. I really feel very good that I'm in Kasama today. And once more, we thank God for giving us rains. We will take care of the harvest. Government will buy the crop so that we can secure food. We suffered a lot in the 2024 season as we experienced the worst drought in living memory. So God, we thank you for answering our prayers. We will look after the harvest. We will store it. We will buy it from farmers. We will store it and secure it so your people can have food throughout the year. May God bless us all.
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.